We are live here today, coming to you from the great state of New Hampshire, doing an unboxing of the Rodcaster Pro here at Mythic Rider. Now, the reason why I decided to do this was to give you an idea of what it's like. And if you are following this channel, you'll know that one of the things I recommend is starting a podcast as a writer, as a way to build an audience, make some additional money, keep the lights on, keep the typewriter in ink. And so this right here at $5.99, I'll put a link in the description here, um, is a great tool. The average person, especially if you're a writer and not a musician, doesn't want to learn a lot of complex recording equipment. I've been a musician my whole life, and I still don't like how complex some of the boards are when it comes to mixing. So we see here you got the back of the box, and it's just got some instructions. So like we'll just pull this out. Never done this before, so bear with me. My first unboxing video. As you can see, beautiful, beautiful sound mixer right there. And the nice thing about the Rodecaster, if you don't really know anything about it, is that it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Plug some mics in and go. I will do some instructional videos on it after I kind of play with it myself a little bit. But I wanted to do just a quick unboxing for you. As you can see, it's a beautiful thing. It's not real big. You don't need it to be. And look at this right there on your desk. Put it to the side when you're typing and writing. Bring this out when it's time to do a podcast or recording. I'll be recording through this in the future for YouTube videos and so forth. Um, I'm sure most of you probably know about this, but if you don't, you got some sound pads here that you can have. There's pre-programmed sounds in it now, but you can push the buttons and change them and make them different sounds like hand clapping, crickets, drum rolls, and stuff like that. So you can, have a lively show. The coolest thing I think about this that really separates this from all other mixers that I've seen is that it lets you wirelessly hook up your smartphone. So if you decide that you want to do one of these podcast shows where your people are calling in, there you go. I think that's cool. I think it's going to be a game changer. I'm definitely going to do that. Some of the podcasts we'll do here, I'll take questions for you guys. And we'll just chit chat right there on the phone. I used to do that when I worked at a radio station many years ago, and it was my favorite part of the job. You can also see they've got a nice instructional chart here that I like. I like this. This is nice. You don't always see this, so you can see here. Yeah. Kind of a quick layout deal. We've got kind of all this. This is nice. This is really nice. So think about too, if you're a writer and you decide you want to do some kind of online writing class, yeah, another good way to increase your income online and allow yourself to write from home full time eventually is if there is something that you're good at teaching. Uh, and so this would also be a great tool for that because you could run your sound into your computer. It hooks up to your computer, which is nice. It's an interface, and it will let you, record your lessons in a professional sounding audio. You don't want to record lessons and you really don't want to record your podcast with the computer mic. I've done a couple videos here with that, just where I'm outside or, on location or whatever. And that's okay. But you don't want the basis of your channel, the bulk of your stuff to be, you know, just some kind of, you know, subpar audio. So this would give you really good audio if you're doing a podcast, doing a online class, or if you decide to read your stories and books on tape and maybe make them into CDs or, downloadable online. Those are some other future videos. We'll talk about that kind of stuff. But these are good ways to really make money as a writer. Unless you're Stephen King, it's really hard to go out there for the average person and make $50,000, $100,000 a year as a writer. It really is. And so if you can get creative, you might find yourself being able to get to that income range. And that's what this channel is all about helping you improve your writing and find ways to really make money and the tools that you can use as a writer. And when I go and use tools and try tools, I always keep in mind that I want them to be as easy as possible because yeah, I know I'm like a lot of you out there probably that I am not somebody that wants to spend 30 hours to learn one program. Um, I've done it before. I've used Adobe InDesign, and if you've ever done that, you know what I mean. But most of my programs are pretty simple, and I want them to be affordable. I don't want to throw a $200 a month program out there to you guys. I think that's unrealistic when you're starting out. And I didn't want to have that kind of expense. So I've tried to find programs, I've tried to find tools like this that are inexpensive. For instance, sometimes you can go to certain websites and buy these on like 17 to $25 monthly payments over 2 or 3 years. That's that's not bad. That's really not bad. I know $600 all at once is a big chunk. So something like that is not a bad deal. And I think you also find that this tool just does so many things for you. The phone thing is great because let's say you start a little, a blog about your writing, or you want to do a little writing podcast, even just for your fans. You're not trying to be, Joe Rogan or anything out there. But let's say you got 1,000 people coming to your website every month. Putting together a little podcast, not super hard, not, it's really not super expensive. Got this, you could have people call in once a month and talk to you. You could even do it as a fan base thing. It doesn't have to be you're trying to teach people to write. It could be your fans calling in, just talking about, if you post a new story every month or, or you write novels, you could talk about that. You talk about writing. A lot of times people just want to talk to you and tell you they like your work. Sometimes they want to ask you questions like, how do you get started and what inspires you and all that good stuff. And so this would be a good opportunity for that. And this will give you professional sound. Your second key is probably a good mic. This SM7B, hard to beat. A cheaper alternative, sure, SM58, about $100 everywhere you go. A lot of people will tell you there's a lot of other mics out there, condenser mics and so forth, and Yetis. And I really don't recommend those, but this video is not about that. Um, let's look this over real quick before we wrap this up. So you plug your mics, you'll plug your mics in back here. And here is where you will use the volume. And you'll turn these on and off. And I'll have like a whole run through demonstration of this. This was just sort of an unboxing. There's really not a lot in the box. That really was it. It looks like, oh, and I'm sorry, there was one more thing. Got some rumblings going on there. See, you can tell I'm very inexperienced at this unboxing. Well, you got a cord there, of course. If you don't have 500 USB cords by now, you're not buying enough equipment. Power supply, which is nice because every piece of equipment you buy doesn't always give you a power supply, which I think is hokey. And look at here. Oh, that's to give you an idea of you can write down what's on your little pads. I get that. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And even better, look at this. They just slip right over your pads so you can mark what they are. And you can change these up. So, if for some reason you had 2 different shows or, you're using this to do storytelling and one week you've got a whole different, group of effects. There you go. You can change that out. It's pretty nice. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this quick little unboxing. And I really appreciate you sticking it with me here. My first unboxing. Have some more to come. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better. Still getting the studio set up here. And I hope you all have a great week. Thank you.